Late 1492. Christopher Columbus steps onto the beach of a new world. The natives call it Haiti, which in their language means land of mountains. Amazed by its beauty and impressed by the inhabitants, he claims it for Spain. This new island, called Santo Domingo, is prosperous. However, the nearly impassable mountain ranges make it impossible for the Spanish government to control the western side of the island. Forcibly abandoned, the resources and the land left behind serve as a perfect refuge for outlaws, adventurers, and castaways from the nearby French colonies. The new population quickly uses up the available food and turns more and more towards piracy. The island of Saint-Domingue soon becomes the most prosperous asset of France, representing more than a third of its trade. The massive need for labor causes the Caribbean slave trade to explode. Hundreds of thousands of slaves are imported. They are starved and abused and treated as disposable goods. Many are worked to death in a few short years, then easily replaced. Soon, Saint-Domingue produces 40% of Europe's coffee and 60% of Europe's sugar. By 1791, as a direct result of slave labor, the island contains over 3,000 plantations. 700 of those produce sugar. Saint-Domingue's economy is booming, fueling Europe's economy as well. In 1784, the French government proposes a law to the Colonial Assembly concerning the living conditions of the slaves in Saint-Domingue. The law is promptly rejected. As retribution, France ends the colony's right to self-government and imposes complete royal control. The colonists do not approve. Talk of the recently won American Revolution is spreading like wildfire throughout Saint-Domingue. An escaped slave called McCandles is imprisoned and executed for planning a mass poisoning of thousands of whites. Jacques-Pierre Brissot starts the Society of the Friends of the Blacks, a French abolitionist organization. A rumor of royal emancipation causes thousands of slaves to gather on the docks of Saint-Pierre on the French island colony of Martinique. The governor of Saint-Domingue sends a letter to the minister of the colonies, warning of the dangerous new ideas spreading throughout the slave population. Vincent O'Hay, a wealthy colored merchant from the colony, presents a plan to grant rights to all free colored people in Saint-Domingue. Instead, a colonial committee is formed which continues to deny the rights of coloreds living in the colony. This angers O'Hay and his peers. He gathers a large militia but is quickly defeated in battle and publicly executed, along with 23 other members of the militia. Fights begin to break out all over Saint-Domingue between rich whites, poor whites, and free coloreds for political control of the colony. Slaves enter the three-way war with the help of Toussaint Louverture, the most pivotal figure in Haiti's history. Born into slavery, Louverture gained his freedom in 1779. He soon became a powerful political force in the colonies, and it was even said that his political performance was such that, in a wider sphere, Napoleon appears to have imitated him. At one point, Louverture's force included 55,000 men. By 1795, the French Revolution is in full swing. The political stampede towards equality reaches a peak when the new French Constitution declares full citizenship for all members of the French mainland and its colonies. However, the revolution is far from over. Toussaint hastily declares himself the commander-in-chief of Saint-Domingue after winning several decisive battles. Napoleon Bonaparte, although unable to affect the free status of the Haitian people, does not want to lose his Caribbean treasure. He sends his top general and brother-in-law, Charles Leclerc, to Haiti to recapture the island. Although unable to defeat the rebels in battle, Leclerc successfully captures Toussaint and sends him to France, where he will die in a jail cell at the age of 59. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint's right-hand man, is now in power. He finishes the war against the French. In 1804, he writes both the Haitian Declaration of Independence and its constitution. Haiti becomes the second independent country in the New World, the first free republic ruled by only people of African descent, and a powerful example of racial liberty. The effects reach far beyond the boundaries of the small island. Napoleon's plans for a French America are destroyed. Without Haiti's constant flow of wealth, Napoleon cannot support a French-American colony. Turning to the more immediate problem of war with Britain, Napoleon decides to sell the Louisiana territory in order to get rid of his now worthless property. Napoleon makes a deal with the American government, and in 1804, the Louisiana Purchase is made, getting over 800,000 square miles to the United States for less than 3 cents per acre. The young United States is suddenly doubled in size, giving birth to manifest destiny. In the next century, the country doubles its size again, and legends of the Old West are born. The Haitian Revolution sets a dangerous precedent for future slave uprisings. Ports around the world close to Haitian sailors. The American South prepares for war against their slaves. In 1833, all British slaves are granted freedom by a law passed by Parliament. In the late 1800s, Frederick Douglass becomes a foreign ambassador to Haiti. In 1865, the American Civil War is won by the Union, and all American slaves are emancipated. In 1968, equal rights for African Americans are achieved through the leadership of Martin Luther King, Jr. In 1994, Nelson Mandela helps to break the South African system of apartheid, and the country becomes a self-named Rainbow Nation. All other movements towards racial equality are but a single link in a long chain of events stretching back to those first slave rebellions in the small island of Saint Domingue.